great to have you on stage.
Thanks to be here.
Take it away.
I will. All right, so I'm going to talk a bit about how to make financial, complex, sometimes boring, I'm sorry, Liesl, into clear, understanding, and actually engaging videos. But first, who am I? Well, I am a passionate video nerd. I have worked as a journalist myself in Norway's largest news media, VG. I almost started my own company, worked a bit freelance, but then finance took me away and I went into what I'm here to talk about today. But I also want to mention this guy, because this guy, he is a music lover. And he tours around with artists playing at festivals and concerts and, yeah, having the time of his life, apparently. But why is that important? Well, to me, it is important because I'm passionate and I'm a perfectionist. And I care about the details. And, yeah, as it says, I'm a nerd. So, that's why you're meeting this guy today. Head of Video, Handelsbanken Norway. But enough of my face. Let's start talking about what's the issue here. So, as I said, banking content can be a bit boring. We work with interest rates, pensions, mortgages, tax. Important, but often very, very dry. So, the challenge is, how do we make this relevant and clear so people actually understand and want to engage with us? When I joined Handelsbanken a little over a year ago, no one was working full-time with video. So I started from scratch, building trust, testing formats, and showing the value of clear, consistent video content. Now we have just started our journey, so it's easy seeing momentum from almost nothing. But as the newly hired head of video, the role wasn't clear. I had to carve my own path. But to do that, I also need to have a good team, and of course I have. So we started with internal support, sparked collaboration, and created a culture where video is no longer a nice to have, it's how we want to communicate. And I have a little video for you to show now.
Hei, mitt navn Dagfinn Elstad, og jeg jobber som pensjonsøkonom i Handelsbanken. Pensjonisttilværelsen, det jo da du liksom skal lene deg tilbake, nyte den frukten av den lange yrkesaktive karrieren du har bak deg. Da kommer jo gjerne spørsmålet, hvor kommer pensjonen fra? Og det det jeg skal prøve å forklare nå. Pensjonen jo delt inn i 3 hoveddeler. Den delen du får fra folketrygden, eller fra staten, den delen du får fra din arbeidsgiver, og den delen du har sørget for selv, nemlig egen sparing. Folketrygden den viktigste delen for de aller fleste av oss når det kommer til pensjon. Den pensjonen den begynner du å bygge opp allerede fra en 13-årsalder, så lenge du har en arbeidsinntekt, og du skatter av den. Dette gjør du hvert eneste år frem til du da begynner å ta ut pensjonen fra tidligst 62. Og dette jo da en livsvarig pensjon du da starter å få fra tidligst 62, men du kan fortsette å jobbe helt frem til 75 og fortsette å bygge opp pensjonen din. Tjenestepensjon, eller pensjon fra arbeidsgiver, den nest viktigste delen av den pensjonen de fleste av oss får. Den avhengig av din inntekt og hvor mange år du har jobbet i den jobben. Hver gang du skifter jobb, eller hvis du skifter jobb, så får du mer av den pensjonen du har opptjent i ditt arbeidsforhold, og summen av alle disse pensjonene blir tjenestepensjonen du tidligst kan ta ut fra fylte 62. En veldig viktig forskjell med folketrygd og tjenestepensjon at tjenestepensjonen veldig ofte, spesielt i privat sektor, ikke livsvarig. Det folketrygden, som sagt. Og så siste del av pensjonen din, nemlig egen sparing. Her det jo veldig stor forskjell på oss. Noen har spart tidlig, begynt å spare tidlig og har spart et langt liv. Andre har begynt kanskje sent eller ikke har spart i det hele tatt. Men dette her avgjør jo på en måte hvordan pensjonen din blir, sammen med folketrygden, som vi har snakket om, tjenestepensjon fra din arbeidsgiver, og nå da din egen sparing. sparing.
And you maybe heard some of the hip-hop music there, so the influence is coming along. Well, this video with this guy, our pension expert, it was part of a campaign we did on pension run over the past year. And it started to show results. We had well over 500,000 views, and more importantly, we saw that we had longer watch times. So the people who didn't drop off in the first seconds, they actually stayed and watched 75% or more of the video. That's rare in fast-scrolling environments where attention is short. It's telling us that content connects across demographics. Even better, thousands of viewers took action. Over 3,400 clicks led into our website and translated into real business growth, meaningful content, and meaningful results. So, with an empty Instagram account, a brand new TV studio, and a ton of experts, we were ready to begin our journey. The mission was to help people understand their finances better, and to do that, we needed to show our experts, not hide them. So, instead of polished marketing, we focused on authenticity. Some of our advisors and economists had already been in front of the camera, but now it was time to give them confidence, make them shine. Every time I press record, I have made principles, 4 reasons we hit record. And I translated it into the Norwegian word, which is also in English, but it's bank. It is branding, action, nytteverdi, or value creation, and culture. With branding and visibility, we mean that we know who we are and what we stand for, even before the viewer know they need us. Action, to drive behavior, like booking a meeting, applying for a loan, starting a savings plan. Value creation and customer care. Here we give the helpful explanation, give something to the customer. What do they need? Can we learn them something new? And culture, internal culture, start building from the insides. Together, these 4 categories help us stay aligned, both with customers and with each other. We have, as I said, a little TV studio, not as nice as this one. I'm not going to talk very much about that today, but when I started, it looked like this. We had some cameras, we had a mixer, but there wasn't much else. So we started to get some light walls. It's not like video walls, but it's light, LED lights, like this. And this is how it looks when we are in production. I would love to tell you more about the studio, but if you want to know more about it, you can contact me after my session. But I'm actually going to talk more about how we did the shift from boring, text-heavy financial reports to more engaging, warm, connecting content that people can actually watch on their phone.
Norges Bank varsler nå at det første rentekutt det kommer i mars 2025. Og for en husholdning med 5 millioner kroner i lån, så vil 3 rentekutt med 0,25 prosentpoeng bety reduserte rentekostnader med 37 000 kroner i året. Men mange nordmenn er jo svært høyt belånt, så si at du har 8 millioner kroner i lån, og det kommer 3 rentekutt i 2025. Da får du reduserte rentekostnader med 60 000 kroner i året. Så det er ingen tvil om at disse rentekuttene vil ha en stor påvirkning på husholdningenes økonomi. Samtidig så er det viktig å huske på at vi ikke skal tilbake til det rentenivået som vi var på for et par år siden med uvanlig lav rente, så til tross for rentekutt så kommer vi til å ligge på et høyere nivå enn tidligere. Og så er det viktig å huske på at det kan komme endringer underveis, og at det ikke blir rentekutt overhodet.
So, let me tell you about 3 things we do that works. Number 1 is, like the movie you just saw, is this short updates on the market, keep it short, but be relevant and be there when something happens. And it's talk shows in the studios. Get those good conversations. They are really powerful, and we use them really, really much on internal meetings as well. And employer branding. As I said, build from the inside. That has shown really important to us, and is one of the things we did the last year, which have been generating engagement. Let's watch a video.
Jeg heter Linda og jobber som bedriftsrådgiver på vårt kontor i Trondheim. Som bedriftsrådgiver hjelper jeg kundene mine med alt fra de helt enkle ting som å opprette konto, til finansiering av større prosjekter og investeringer. I Handelsbanken kjenner vi kundene våre godt. Jeg pleier å invitere kundene mine inn på kontoret. Ellers så kan jeg også dra ut og besøke de der de holder til. Og det er jo litt for å bli kjent med driften av selskapene, for å kunne rådgi de på best mulig måte. I Handelsbanken er vi opptatt av å sørge for at kundene våre lykkes med det de driver med. Utvikling er viktig for meg, og det føler jeg får i Handelsbanken. Fine kollegaer, dyktige kollegaer med drøssevis av kompetanse, som er positive til nye ting og endringer. Og alt det her gjør at jeg trives veldig godt i Handelsbanken.
Well, I guess you all would like to work at Handelsbanken now. Albert Einstein once said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And that's like the main source I'm talking about here. So here are my key takeaways. Even if you work in a serious industry, your content can still be engaging. Focus on being human, help your experts, simplify. And don't wait for perfect, just get it done. I hope this has inspired you and rethink how to use video. If you would like to chat with me, you can chat here at the event, or send me an email or add me on LinkedIn. Thanks.
Tack kära du. Thank you so much. Excellent presentation. So many nice examples. You actually got some credit in the chat. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Roy is very skilled. That's nice to hear, right? Or great genuine video productions, Roy Christian. And Anna wrote, very inspiring.
Oh.
Oh, that's amazing. But of course, we asked the question to you in the audience. How confident are you in turning complex topics into engaging video? What would you guess? The first one was very. It's our sweet spot.
That's not so many, I think. Maybe 20%?
A good guess, 22.
Oh.
Somewhat, it's a challenge. 44, not very. We struggle with this. 33%. What would your advice be to those 33%?
Make it easy and trust yourself. And as I said in my key takeaways, don't try to be complex and show off that your experts can talk in strange and really hard, nerdy language. Simplify it and get them to shine.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you, Roy.
Thanks.
Thank you.